Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a story that has echoed through centuries. A tale that speaks directly to the heart of what it means to be human, to mess up, to feel lost, and to find our way back. I'm talking about the story of the Prodigal Son now. Whether you've heard it 1,000 times or this is your first time, I invite you to listen with fresh ears. Because this isn't just an ancient parable, it's a modern-day mirror reflecting our own lives, our fears, and our deepest hopes. So let's set the scene. Imagine a wealthy father with 2 sons. The older son is the responsible one, the one who always does the right thing, follows the rules, and works hard on the family estate. He's dependable, predictable, and maybe a little self-righteous if we're being honest. Then there's the younger son. He's got a fire in his belly, a thirst for adventure, and a feeling that life is happening somewhere else, somewhere far away from home. One day, this younger son does something shocking. Something that would have been a massive cultural taboo. He goes to his father and says, "Dad, I want my inheritance now." Now, let's pause here. In that culture, asking for your inheritance while your father is still alive was like saying, "I wish you were dead." It was the ultimate act of disrespect, a complete severance of the family bond. You can just imagine the heartbreak, the betrayal the father must have felt. But here's the first incredible twist in the story. The father agrees. He divides his property and gives the younger son his share. He lets him go. He doesn't argue. He doesn't lecture. He just releases him. With his pockets full of cash, the younger son takes off for a distant country. He is finally free. No rules, no responsibilities, just endless possibilities. And for a while, it's the high life. He spends his money wildly, throwing lavish parties, surrounding himself with friends who are more than happy to enjoy his wealth. He lives for the moment, chasing every pleasure, indulging every impulse. He's living the dream, or so he thinks. But we all know how this part of the story goes, don't we? Money runs out, yet the friends who were always there when the drinks were flowing suddenly disappear. And just when things couldn't get worse, a severe famine hits the land. The once rich young man is now broke, alone, and starving. His descent is brutal and swift. He gets a job, but it's the most demeaning job imaginable for a Jewish man, feeding pigs. He's so hungry he finds himself longing to eat the very slop he's feeding the animals. This is his rock bottom. He's covered in filth, his stomach aching with hunger. Abandoned by everyone, he finally has a moment of clarity. The Bible says he came to his senses. He realizes something profound. He thinks back home. Even my father's hired servants have more than enough food to eat, and here I am starving to death. In that moment of utter desperation, the fantasy shatters and reality hits him like a ton of bricks. The life of so-called freedom has led him to a pigsty, to a state of absolute degradation. This moment of coming to his senses is so crucial. It's the turning point. It's that moment in our own lives when we finally stop blaming everyone else, stop making excuses, and look at the wreckage we've created. It's when we finally admit, I messed up. I can't do this on my own anymore. And with this realization, he formulates a plan. He decides to go home. But notice his mindset. He doesn't expect a welcome party. He doesn't feel entitled to his old life. He's rehearsing his speech. "Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Just make me like one of your hired servants." He's not asking for his sonship back. He's just hoping for a job, for a crust of bread, for a place at the very bottom of the household. He is prepared to earn his keep, to live with the consequences of his actions. His hope is not for restoration, but merely for survival. He is filled with shame, humility, and a deep sense of his own unworthiness. So, he begins the long, dusty journey home.
Imagine that walk.
Every step is probably filled with anxiety, with fear of rejection. What will his father say? Will he even be allowed on the property? Will his brother mock him? He's rehearsing that speech over and over, bracing himself for the worst. And now we get to the most powerful part of the story, the part that gives me goosebumps every single time. The text says, "But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him." Think about that. Father saw him while he was still a long way off. What does that tell you? It tells me the father was watching. He was waiting. Every single day he must have been scanning the horizon, hoping, praying, longing for his son to return. This wasn't a passive waiting. was an active, searching, hopeful gaze. And what does the father do when he sees this dirty, emaciated figure in the distance? Does he wait for the son to grovel and deliver his rehearsed apology? No. The father is filled with compassion. He doesn't just walk, he runs. In that culture, an elderly, respected patriarch would never run. It was undignified. But this father throws all dignity to the wind. He hikes up his robes and sprints toward his lost son. He throws his arms around his son and kisses him. This isn't a polite peck on the cheek. This is the embrace of a father who thought his son was gone forever. This is the embrace of a father who thought his son was gone forever. It's a hug that says, "You're home, you're safe, you're alive." It's a hug that preempts any apology, that covers the son's shame and filth with unconditional love. The son, overwhelmed, starts his speech. "Father, I have sinned. I'm not worthy." But the father isn't even listening to the apology. He cuts him off. He turns to his servants and starts barking orders. "Quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. And bring the fattened calf and kill it. Let's have a feast and celebrate. For this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." Let's break down this reception. The best robe wasn't just any piece of clothing. It was a symbol of restored honor and dignity. The ring, likely a signet ring, signified restored authority and sonship within the family. The sandals were what distinguished a son from a slave, as slaves went barefoot. And the fattened calf, that was reserved for the most special of celebrations. The father isn't just taking him back, he's completely reinstating him, not as a servant, but as a beloved son. He's throwing a party, not a pity party, but a massive celebration of restoration. There is no probation period, no "I told you so," just pure, unadulterated joy and grace. Now, of course, there's the other brother, the older son. He's out in the field working, being responsible as always. When he comes home, he hears the music and dancing. He asks a servant what's going on and learns that his train wreck of a brother is back. Their dad is throwing a huge party for him and he is furious. He refuses to go inside. His father comes out to plead with him, and the older son just unloads all his pent-up resentment. "Look, all these years I've been slaving for you and never disobeyed your orders. Yet you never even gave me a young goat so I could celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours, who has squandered your property with prostitutes, comes home, you kill the fattened calf for him." You can feel his bitterness, can't you? He sees his relationship with his father as a transaction. "I was good, so I deserve a reward. He was bad, so he deserves punishment. He's been living at home, but in his heart, he's just as distant as his younger brother was. He's lost in his own self-righteousness and sense of entitlement." The father's reply to him is so gentle, so full of love. "My son, you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate and be glad because this brother of yours was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." The story ends there, leaving us to wonder if the older brother ever went inside to join the party. So what does this ancient story mean for us right here, right now? It means that no matter how far you've strayed, no matter how badly you've messed up, no matter how deep in the pigsty you find yourself, the road home is always open. It shows us a picture of a God who isn't waiting to punish you, but is actively, eagerly watching the horizon, waiting to run to you, embrace you, and restore you. Maybe you identify with the younger son. You've made choices you regret, and you're living with the consequences, feeling unworthy and ashamed. This story is for you. It tells you that grace is bigger than your failure. Forgiveness isn't something you have to earn. It's a gift waiting for you. The first step is just coming to your senses and deciding to turn back home. Or maybe you're more like the older brother. You've tried to do everything right. You've followed the rules. You've been responsible. But you feel unappreciated, and you're maybe a little judgmental of those who haven't. This story is for you too. It's an invitation to step out of the trap of comparison, in self-righteousness, and to enter into the joy of grace, grace for others, and grace for yourself. It reminds us that being in the house isn't the same as being in the Father's heart. The core message is this: grace is scandalous. It's not fair, it's not logical, it's not something we earn. It's a wild, extravagant, unconditional love that defies our human systems of merit and reward. It's a father hiking up his robes and running. It's a party for the one who least deserves it. It's the promise that no matter how lost we are, we can always be found. No matter how broken we are, we can be made whole again. The party is waiting. The only question is, will we come inside? Thanks so much for watching today. I hope this story resonated with you as much as it does with me. If you got something out of this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content like this. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Which brother do you identify with more? Till next time, take care.